Alex Carter had never seen Dallas from this high up. The skyline glowed in the late afternoon sun, glass towers catching fire in the haze. He balanced a cardboard box against his hip as he stepped out of the elevator, the word kitchen scrawled across it in his own cramped handwriting. Apartment 16B. His new beginning. He fumbled with the keys, finally getting the door open, and was greeted by the faint scent of vanilla candles and something floral. The living room was already furnished. Modern gray sofa, throw blankets with bright patterns, a record player in the corner. Definitely not his style. "Hey, you must be Alex." Her voice came from the kitchen. A moment later, his new roommate stepped into view, wiping her hands on a towel. Jenna's outfit, a fitted black crop top that stopped just above her waist, paired with distressed blue jeans that hugged her figure and white Converse sneakers. Large silver hoop earrings caught the light every time she moved, and her long dark hair was pulled into a loose braid over one shoulder.
Yeah. Hi.
Alex. He shifted the box awkwardly. Alex's outfit, worn blue jeans, a washed-out gray t-shirt with a stretched neckline, and old sneakers with the soles fraying at the edges. His light brown hair fell unevenly into his gray-blue eyes. She smiled like they were already friends. "I'm Jenna. Welcome to the Palace." Palace was generous. It was a two-bedroom apartment with scuffed floors, but compared to his old student housing in Denton, it felt upscale. "You can drop that anywhere," she said, nodding at his box. Then, after a pause, her eyes flicked over him, taking in his plain clothes from head to toe. "You're very neutral, aren't you?" Alex blinked. "Neutral?" "Yeah," Jenna laughed. "Like your whole vibe.
Beige. Safe.
Like if the Gap had a personality."
His ears went hot.
"I guess I've never thought about it." "Well," she said, tossing the towel onto the counter. "Don't worry. I'm good at fixing boring." She wasn't mean about it. Her grin made it feel more like a challenge than an insult. Still, Alex couldn't help tugging at the hem of his gray t-shirt, suddenly aware of how plain he looked standing next to her confident style. Jenna grabbed 2 bottles of Topo Chico from the fridge and handed him one. The refrigerator door revealed a glimpse of her earlier outfit change still visible on the chair, a light denim jacket draped across it, decorated with enamel pins and embroidered patches. "You'll like living here. I've got rules. No weird dishes left in the sink, and everyone gets to pick a playlist on cleaning days." "That's it." "That's reasonable," he said, relieved. She cracked open her bottle, leaned against the counter, and studied him again. "You've got nice eyes, though. They'd pop if you wore something brighter. Pastels, maybe." Alex laughed nervously. I'll take that under advisement." "Good. Because trust me, you'd look so cute in light blue." He froze with the bottle halfway to his lips, not sure how to respond. Cute? No one had ever said that about him. Not like that. Jenna smirked, like she enjoyed his discomfort. And in that moment, Alex realized living with her might be more of an adventure than he'd bargained for. The next morning, Alex shuffled into the kitchen with a yawn, cradling his phone in one hand. Jenna was already at the counter, typing on her laptop with one hand while sipping coffee with the other. "You look like a college freshman who hasn't done laundry in 2 weeks, Jenna said without looking up. Alex blinked. Thanks." She finally glanced at him, her eyes widening a little, as if she'd just confirmed her own joke. "Seriously, that hoodie is swallowing you alive. I should rescue you before it commits a crime against fashion." "It's comfortable," he muttered, pouring cereal into a bowl. "Comfortable doesn't mean cute," Jenna shot back. Then her lips curved into a sly grin. "But you would look cute in mine." Alex froze halfway through setting down the milk. "What?" She got up, went to the couch, and picked up a folded hoodie, a pastel blue cropped hoodie. The sleeves were long, and the fabric looked soft enough to sleep in. "Try this instead," she said, tossing it onto the counter beside him. His eyes darted between her and the hoodie. "That's yours."
"Yeah,
and he rubbed the back of his neck. "I don't think it would fit." "Oh, it'll fit," Jenna said confidently, sipping her coffee again. "Stretch fabric. Plus, it's about the vibe, not the size. Just humor me." Alex stared at it, his pulse picking up for reasons he didn't want to admit. It wasn't that he minded hoodies. But her hoodie? In that color? It felt like stepping over some invisible line. "You're serious," he said flatly. Jenna leaned one hip against the counter, her smile widening. Dead serious. Come on. What's the worst that could happen? If it doesn't fit, you can go back to your sad, shapeless, whatever that is. Her playful tone left him no room to refuse without seeming uptight. With a sigh, Alex peeled off his oversized gray hoodie. Underneath, his plain white t-shirt clung a little closer than he liked. He quickly pulled on Jenna's hoodie. It was soft, warmer than his. And it did fit, snugger, yes, but not uncomfortably so. The cropped hemline hung just a little above his shorts, leaving an inch of his t-shirt peeking out beneath. The pastel color made his pale skin look brighter, his gray-blue eyes more noticeable. Jenna clapped her hands together like she'd just won a bet.
See?
What did I tell you? Adorable. Alex tugged at the hem self-consciously. I look ridiculous. You look like someone who finally bought clothes made in this century, Jenna corrected. She leaned in slightly, tilting her head. And I'm telling you, pastel blue is officially your color. Her words lingered in the air, heavier than they should have been. Alex tried to laugh it off, but when he caught sight of himself reflected in the black screen of the microwave, he hesitated. She wasn't wrong, and that unsettled him more than the teasing itself. The pastel hoodie still clung to him later that afternoon. Alex had every intention of changing back into his own clothes before going out, but Jenna had other plans. They were headed to the corner grocery store, just a few blocks away. Alex had tossed on his sneakers and started reaching for his gray hoodie when Jenna stopped him with a raised eyebrow. Don't you dare change back, Jenna said, blocking the closet where his hoodie hung. Alex frowned. It's just the store. No one cares what I wear. Exactly, Jenna replied, grabbing her keys. So, you can wear that one. Trust me, you look 10 times better in it. He hesitated, staring down at himself. The pastel fabric felt like a neon sign.
It's cropped.
Barely, she shot back, already heading for the door. And besides, it's Dallas. Have you seen what people wear around here? No one's going to care. Reluctantly, Alex followed. Every step down the hallway felt like a spotlight was on him. He kept tugging at the hem, as if he could stretch it lower. Outside, the late spring air was warm, the streets buzzing with cars and the smell of food trucks drifting from Main Street. As they walked, Jenna glanced at him and grinned.
See?
Not so bad, right? Alex muttered. Feels weird. Weird usually just means new, she said, nudging him with her elbow. And new looks good on you. Inside the store, Alex caught sight of himself in the freezer door glass. He looked different, softer, more noticeable. When the cashier, a girl with pink hair and a nose ring, rang them up, she smiled at Alex longer than expected. Cute hoodie, she said casually. Heat rushed to his face. Thanks. Jenna, standing beside him, bit back a smirk. By the time they left, Alex was pulling the sleeves over his hands, trying to process the interaction. Jenna, of course, couldn't resist twisting the knife. Told you. Adorable. And hey, she wasn't wrong. Alex tried to roll his eyes, but the truth was undeniable. For the first time in a long time, someone noticed him. And it felt pretty good. That weekend, Alex found himself cornered on the couch with Jenna hovering over him like a stylist who had just discovered a new canvas. Alex's outfit, a plain black t-shirt and his favorite gray sweatpants, barefoot, hair slightly damp from a shower. Comfort clothes, but they left him looking more like he'd given up than relaxed. Jenna's outfit, cropped gray sweatpants with a white drawstring and neon sports bra peeking out beneath a loose tank top, hair twisted into a messy bun, and fuzzy socks with cartoon cats. Okay, she said, dropping a small plastic bag of beauty supplies on the coffee table. We're doing this. Alex eyed the bag like it contained explosives. Doing what? Self-care night, Jenna replied, flopping onto the couch beside him. She pulled out nail polish, face masks, and a little compact of hair gel. Relax, it's not surgery. He laughed nervously. That stuff's for girls. Wrong, Jenna said, popping open a bottle of pale pink nail polish. It's for anyone who doesn't want to look like a swamp troll. And right now, she gestured dramatically at him. You're at risk. Alex sighed, but his resistance was already half-hearted. One nail, he said, holding out his hand with exaggerated reluctance. One nail is all I need, she teased. She carefully painted his left pinky nail. The color gleamed under the lamp.
See?
Cute. Alex shook his head, though he couldn't stop glancing at it. I look ridiculous. You look like someone who isn't afraid to try something different, Jenna corrected. She set the bottle down and grabbed a sheet mask from the bag. Next.
What?
No. Yes, she insisted, tearing it open and pressing the cool mask against his face before he could argue.
There.
Hydration. Alex, slouched on the couch in his sweats with a shiny pink nail and a green face mask, while Jenna lounged next to him scrolling her phone, perfectly at ease. He groaned. If anyone saw me like this, they'd say, "Wow, that guy finally cares about his skin," Jenna said, without looking up. When she finally peeled the mask away, Alex touched his cheek in surprise. His skin did feel softer. He caught himself staring at his reflection in the blank TV screen. For just a second, he looked different. Less invisible. Not bad, huh? Jenna said, smirking at his expression. Alex muttered, still ridiculous. But when Jenna pulled his hair forward and showed him how to part it differently, something inside him stirred. He wasn't sure if it was discomfort or curiosity. The night had stretched on with a bottle of red wine, a bad rom-com on Netflix, and Jenna's relentless teasing. Alex's outfit, a plain white t-shirt and faded jeans, belt loose, barefoot. Casual, safe, and unremarkable. Jenna's outfit, a black halter top that left her shoulders bare, dark skinny jeans, and wedge sandals discarded by the couch. Her long braid had loosened into waves that brushed her collarbone. She was curled up sideways with her glass of wine balanced precariously, her eyes bright with mischief. You know, Jenna said, swirling her glass, you've already proven you can pull off pastel blue. We should see what else works. Alex groaned. Not this again. Yes, this again. She set down her wine and hopped up, heading for her room. A moment later she reemerged, holding something black and pleated. The skirt, knee-length, lightweight fabric, with a sharp pleated structure that swayed as she walked. Alex nearly choked on a sip of wine. No way. Oh, come on. It's just fabric. You already wear shorts, this is just fancier shorts. That's not how it works. Sure it is, Jenna said, tossing the skirt at him. It landed across his lap. Besides, I bet you'd look adorable. Alex picked it up gingerly, as if it might burn him. This is ridiculous. Ridiculous would be me asking you to wear my heels, Jenna shot back. This is baby steps. He stared at the skirt, heart thudding harder than it should have. You're serious. As a heart attack, she said, folding her arms with mock sternness. I dare you. That word hung in the air.
Dare.
A challenge. And if there was one thing Jenna had figured out quickly, it was that Alex couldn't back down from one without looking like a coward. Muttering under his breath, he stood, unbuttoned his jeans, and slipped them off. The air felt colder on his bare legs. He tugged the skirt up and fastened it clumsily. It fit.
Perfectly.
Alex's new look. White t-shirt tucked loosely into Jenna's black pleated skirt, bare legs, no shoes. The skirt swished lightly when he shifted. Jenna clapped her hands together like she'd just won a prize.
See?
What did I tell you? Adorable. Alex flushed, tugging at the hem. I look like a joke. You look like someone who's wasting his potential, Jenna countered, stepping closer. She tilted her head, studying him like an artist might study a canvas. Your legs are better than mine, by the way. Unfair. Alex didn't know what to do with that. His face went hot. He sat back down quickly, the skirt brushing against his thighs in a way that felt foreign, unfamiliar, and strangely electric. The movie played on, forgotten, while Jenna snapped a quick photo on her phone before he could protest. Delete that, Alex said, reaching for her hand. Nope, she said, holding it away. Don't worry, it's for me. A reminder of how cute you are when you finally try something new. He sank deeper into the couch, the skirt's pleats fanning around him, pulse racing. For the first time, he wasn't sure if he wanted her to stop. Sunday morning sunlight streamed through the blinds, catching dust motes in the air. Alex sat at the kitchen table, scrolling on his phone, when Jenna plopped a colorful bundle in front of him. Alex's outfit, plain dark blue t-shirt, gray sweatpants, barefoot. Hair unstyled, falling over his forehead. Jenna's outfit, a loose boho blouse patterned in reds and golds, wide-leg jeans that brushed the floor, brown leather sandals, and a stack of bracelets that jingled whenever she moved. "What's this?" Alex asked, nudging the fabric bundle. "Scarves," Jenna said simply, sitting across from him with a coffee mug in hand. "You need accessories." "I don't accessorize. That's the problem." With practiced ease, she pulled out a soft pastel scarf with a watercolor print and draped it around his shoulders. Alex's new look, still in sweats and a t-shirt, but now with a delicate scarf hanging against his chest. He froze. "This is ridiculous." "It's harmless," Jenna said, sipping her coffee. "Scarves are gender-neutral. Rock stars wear them. Movie stars wear them. You're overreacting." Alex tugged at it, but the fabric was feather-light, almost comforting. "Feels weird." "Weird means new," Jenna said, echoing her earlier mantra. "Besides, it brings out your eyes." He rolled his eyes, but before he could argue further, she was stacking a few of her thin bangles onto his wrist. The metal clinked softly. Alex's look, updated, pastel scarf draped over his t-shirt, thin silver bangles loose around his wrist. He held up his arm. "Now I sound like a wind chime." Jenna laughed, the sound bright. "You look like someone who finally discovered style. Trust me, this is training wheels." She leaned back, tapping her mug. "Tell you what, keep those on today. Just around the apartment.
Get used to the feel of them.
No one's going to see you but me." Alex wanted to object, but he stopped himself. She wasn't daring him this time, not exactly. She was treating it like something normal, inevitable. And that was harder to fight. Later, when he passed the hallway mirror, Alex caught sight of himself again, the scarf softening the lines of his t-shirt, the bangles flashing when he moved. He paused, staring longer than he meant to. Not ridiculous, just different.
And maybe
not terrible. It started with Jenna standing in her bedroom doorway, arms crossed, a mischievous grin playing at her lips. "You're not getting out of this one," she said. Jenna's outfit, a striped, yellow sundress that swayed lightly when she shifted her weight, paired with white sneakers and small gold hoop earrings. Her hair was pinned back loosely, with a butterfly clip. Alex sat stiffly on the edge of the couch. Alex's outfit, gray joggers, faded graphic tee, socks. Safe. Forgettable. On the coffee table lay what Jenna had laid out like offerings, a pleated skirt, a soft blouse, a pair of ballet flats, and a tube of lip gloss. "Jenna," Alex began, his voice low. "Alex," she interrupted, mimicking his tone, "this isn't going to kill you. You already rocked my hoodie and the skirt the other night. This is just leveling up." He glanced at the clothes. The skirt was navy, crisp, but simple. The blouse was cream-colored with delicate short sleeves that looked airy. The flats were a neutral beige. Nothing extreme, nothing flashy, but together they were undeniable. His pulse thudded in his ears. "I'll look stupid." "You'll look adorable," Jenna corrected. Then her grin softened into something almost reassuring. "And you'll see what I've been seeing all along." Alex hesitated, but under her expectant gaze, he picked up the skirt. A few minutes later, in her room with the door shut, he traded his joggers for it. The fabric brushed lightly against his thighs, foreign and yet strangely freeing. He pulled on the blouse, the neckline resting differently against his collarbone than any shirt he'd worn before. Finally, he slid his feet into the flats. Alex's new outfit, navy pleated skirt, cream blouse tucked in neatly, beige ballet flats. His hair still unstyled, but the clothing framed him in a new silhouette. When he stepped out, Jenna clapped her hands together.
yes.
"Oh my God, yes." Alex tugged self-consciously at the hem of the blouse. "This feels weird." "Hold still." Jenna grabbed a brush and tugged gently at his hair, smoothing it down. Then she dabbed a little gloss across his lips. "Okay, now look." She spun him toward the full-length mirror leaning against the wall. For a long moment, Alex couldn't breathe. The reflection staring back at him wasn't the invisible guy in hoodies and worn jeans. The skirt softened him. The blouse framed his narrow shoulders in a way that made him seem graceful. The gloss caught the light, pulling attention to his mouth. "See," Jenna said softly, standing behind him with her chin resting lightly on his shoulder. "Told you." He swallowed, eyes locked on the mirror. "That's not me." "It's you," Jenna whispered. Just the part you've been hiding. Alex's hands trembled slightly at his sides. He couldn't decide if he wanted to rip the outfit off or never take it off again. The next evening, Jenna pushed the coffee table aside to clear space in the living room. Okay, she said, hands on her hips. If you're going to wear the clothes, you need to know how to move in them. No point in looking the part if you stomp around like a linebacker. Jenna's outfit: black yoga pants, a cropped hoodie in neon green, hair tied up in a high ponytail, comfortable with a kind of casual that still looked intentional. Alex's outfit: gray leggings Jenna had lent him, an oversized cream sweater that fell just past his hips, and sandals. A soft, casual look, easy, safe, but unmistakably feminine. Alex crossed his arms. You make it sound like I'm auditioning for a play. In a way, you are, Jenna said. But the stage is real life, and your role is adorable girl who knows exactly what she's doing. That's not me, he muttered. Not yet, she corrected, smirking. She positioned him in front of the hallway mirror. All right. First lesson: walking. You've been clomping around like your sneakers weigh 20 pounds. Relax your stride. Hips loose. Smaller steps. Alex tried, shuffling across the room. It felt awkward, unnatural. No, 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 Jenna groaned, stopping him mid-stride. She came up behind him, gently placing her hands at his hips. Like this. Your center of gravity isn't in your shoulders, it's here. Think fluid, not stiff. Alex swallowed, acutely aware of her hands guiding him. He tried again, this time letting the movement carry through his legs instead of forcing it. Jenna clapped. Better.
See?
You're a natural once you stop thinking about it. He rolled his eyes, though a faint smile tugged at his lips. Feels weird. Everything new feels weird, she said, echoing her mantra. Next is sitting. No more sprawling out like a frat boy. She flopped onto the couch, crossing her legs gracefully. Try it. Alex perched beside her, instinctively spreading his knees.
Ah.
Jenna tapped his knee with a finger. Together. Or cross them. You're wearing leggings, take advantage of it. He sighed but obeyed, knees pressing together. It felt strange, but also it fit. Jenna tilted her head, studying him. You know, when you're not fighting me every second, you actually pull it off. Alex caught himself glancing at his reflection again. The sweater softened his shape, the leggings elongated his legs, and his posture, improved under her coaching, gave the illusion of something delicate. Almost convincing, Jenna teased. Almost. Alex groaned, covering his face with his hands. But when she handed him a throw pillow and said, Okay, practice walking across the room one more time, he got up without arguing. And for the first time, he didn't feel like he was just playing dress-up. It was late, the hum of Dallas traffic drifting faintly through the open window. Jenna sat cross-legged on the couch with her laptop balanced on her knees, while Alex lingered near the hallway mirror, still half practicing the walk she had drilled into him the night before. Alex's outfit: skinny jeans borrowed from Jenna, a pastel lavender v-neck tee that skimmed closer to his frame than anything he owned, and white sneakers. His hair was straightened with Jenna's flat iron, parted neatly to one side. Jenna's outfit: a fitted tank top tucked into high-waisted black leggings, her denim jacket with enamel pins draped across the back of the chair, and wedge sandals kicked off by the couch. You know what's missing? Jenna asked suddenly, glancing over her screen. Alex frowned.
Ah. Dignity.
Jenna rolled her eyes.
No.
A name. He froze, tugging lightly at the hem of the lavender tee. I already have one. Yeah, Alex. Which is great for tax forms, but she. Jenna gestured at him with a sweeping hand. Deserves her own name. Alex laughed nervously. That's ridiculous. Not ridiculous, Jenna said firmly, closing the laptop and leaning forward. Think about it. Every outfit, every step, every smile. It feels different when you're like this, doesn't it? Don't lie. His throat tightened. It feels not like me. Exactly, Jenna said, eyes gleaming. So maybe it's not Alex. Maybe it's someone else. Someone new. She grabbed her phone and started typing. All right, options. Alexis. Bella. Maya. Something cute. Something that fits the face I'm looking at right now. Alex groaned, sinking onto the couch beside her. You're insane. Pick one, she insisted, shoving the phone toward him. His eyes skimmed the list she'd pulled up. Dozens of names, each carrying a weight he hadn't expected. His finger hesitated over one. I like Alexis, he said softly. Jenna's smile spread slow and triumphant. Alexis, she repeated, tasting the word.
Yes.
That's perfect. Alexis's new look, lavender tea, skinny jeans, sneakers, straightened hair, and now a name. Jenna leaned back with a grin. Nice to meet you, Alexis. For reasons he couldn't explain, Alexis, felt a shiver run down her spine at the sound of it. A name, simple as it was, changed everything. And for the first time, she didn't argue. The apartment was quiet, save for the hum of the AC pushing against the Dallas heat. Jenna had left earlier, tossing a casual "don't wait up" over her shoulder as she grabbed her keys and slipped into the night. Alex lingered in the silence, pacing the living room. His eyes kept darting toward Jenna's half-open bedroom door. Alex's outfit, black athletic shorts, a plain white undershirt, bare feet. Comfortable, but bland, like erasing himself. On Jenna's closet door, the edge of a dress peeked out. He knew which one it was. The dress, a light sundress, soft yellow cotton with a cinched waist and small floral print. He'd seen Jenna wear it once on a warm afternoon. It had seemed so effortless on her. His heart pounded as he stepped into her room, tugging the hanger free. He stared at it for a long moment before pulling off his undershirt. Sliding the dress over his head, the fabric whispered against his skin. The waist hugged him differently, the skirt brushing his thighs in a way that felt both foreign and impossibly natural. Alexis's secret look, the yellow sundress falling just above her knees, bare legs, tousled hair from earlier, no shoes. She turned toward the mirror and froze. It wasn't Alex staring back. Not entirely. The lines of the dress softened her narrow frame, the yellow warming her skin, the floral print drawing the eye away from her edges. For the first time, she didn't feel like a boy playing pretend. She looked like someone else. Someone real. Her throat tightened. Alexis, she whispered, testing the name aloud. The mirror Alexis smiled back, shy but luminous. Then a sound. A door unlocking. Panic shot through her. She tore the dress up over her head and shoved it behind a chair just as Jenna's voice rang out. Hey, I'm back early. Dallas traffic was a nightmare. She stepped into the living room, dropping her keys in the bowl. Everything good? Alex, now back in his undershirt and shorts, forced a nod, heart still hammering. Yeah, just reading. Jenna didn't press. She disappeared into her room, humming under her breath. But when Alex sat back on the couch, pulse still racing, he couldn't help glancing toward the hidden dress. The secret burned between them, unspoken. Do you want to see what happens next? Subscribe and become part of our story. New episodes every week. Turn on the bell so you never miss what's coming next.